Dominating the front pages this morning is, of course, Boris Johnson, who has been fined for breaking his own COVID rules in lockdown. He's offered an apology, but no resignation.
Today, I've received a fixed penalty notice from the Metropolitan Police relating to an event in Downing Street on the 19th of June 2020. And let me say immediately that I've paid the fine and I once again offer a full apology.
With me now is Alison Phillips, the editor of the Daily Mirror, and broadcaster Eleanor Mills. Good morning, ladies. Lots to talk about. Like we say, all over the papers today, the front page of the Daily Mirror, Alison, led by liars and lawbreakers. Is he going to resign? He certainly doesn't look like he's going to today. He feels the apology is enough. Where do you stand with this?
Is he going to resign? I think he will get dragged out of Downing Street kicking and screaming. I don't think he's got any intention of resigning. But we have to remember, this is just the early stages of the police inquiry now. We know that they're looking at 6 parties. We know that Boris Johnson was at many. There's the parties that were in his own flat. So we don't know what's happening about that yet. So there's much more to come. And then, of course, we've got the Sue Gray report, who was the civil servant who was tasked with finding out exactly what had gone on. So, but what we did establish yesterday is that our Chancellor of Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, and our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, have broken the law. And we also have established that they lied in Parliament. Now, it used to be lying in Parliament was a resigning issue. And obviously, it's going to come down to the Conservative backbenchers as to what they think should be done. But certainly, a lot of our readers who are so hurt, but who followed the rules, who lost loved ones during that awful COVID crisis, really feel it's time for him to go.
On the flip side of this, Eleanor, and it's the front page of the Daily Mail, maybe, I guess, to be slightly more expected. Their headline is how Boris was only there for 9 minutes, carry less than 5. The birthday cake never even left its Tupperware box. Don't they know there's a war on? And trying to shift it to maybe the rest of us sitting at home, there's enough going on in the world without a complete and utter shift within our government. What do you think? Do you think there is a general consensus that maybe just have passed caring at this point?
I think that this is the line the government are definitely trying to push. And I think that there's definitely a silent majority out there who maybe didn't obey the rules quite as carefully or were very anti the rules. There's a piece in the Telegraph today which is saying that, you know, people didn't think that the lockdown rules were a good idea anyway. So, and I also think with Boris there is a sense that if you're a Boris supporter, you know that he has a tendency to lie, and that it's kind of priced in that he breaks the rules. This has always been part of his shtick. So I think that there's a strong tendency on the backbenchers and within some of the press on the other side to Alison, who are very much hoping that Boris can survive and are pushing this line hard that with a war on and a cost of living crisis, this isn't the time to jump horses. And of course, Rishi Sunak, who was very much being put up earlier in the year as a possible successor to Boris, is also damaged by this because he's also received a fine, and there have been all the problems with his wife's tax affairs recently.
He has had a nightmare of a week.
He's had a bit of a nightmare of a week. So it's not as if there's a very obvious successor, and the Tory backbenchers don't show any appetite for getting rid of Boris. We'll see what happens, as Alison says, over the next few days, because this is only the beginning. And I think the birthday party one is one of the weaker one of the ones which is not so egregious in many people's eyes. But there are going to be more parties, as Alison says, one in the flat, the one when Dominic Cummings left. There's going to be more of this, and it's going to stick more on Boris. And so his deniability that he's trying now, that he didn't really know, and it's the birthday party and he was there for 9 minutes and the cake never came out of the Tupperware. You know, that all is maybe okay this morning, but I don't think that's going to wash as the time goes on. So I don't think he's by any means out of the woods yet. And I think Rishi Sunak not resigning yesterday was key, because if Rishi Sunak had resigned on principle, then Boris would have had to go. So I don't know quite what they did to stop Rishi doing that.
That probably is the big question, isn't it?
We can speculate.
But I think if you just take all the personalities and the party politics out of it, I think as a country, we just need to sort of make a decision. Are we happy being ruled by people who lie, by people who think that the rules don't apply to them, apply to the rest of us, by the kind of people who are always trying to find an angle, or trying to find a way around the situation, rather than just playing it straight? Are we prepared to do that? I would like to hope not, because I think truth is still so important because relationships only ever fall apart when truth falls apart. And I think that's where the relationship between those who are governed and those who are governing is falling apart because they're not being straight with us.
Well, for me, out of all of it, I guess, it's those that had loved ones in hospital that were dying and couldn't be there.
I mean, those stories today are heartbreaking.
And this talk about 9 minutes and carry less than 5. I'd take 9 minutes or 5 minutes with the loved one that was in hospital that you didn't get at that time. And I think that's what matters to me more than any of it now.
And that picture of the Queen, I think, just
the
summed it up when she sat there alone at her husband's funeral. And so many people have done that. It's heartbreaking.
Very much so.
No, I think that's true, but I don't necessarily think that that's the way that Boris is going to go at the moment. It doesn't look like it. I mean, all the logic suggests that he should, but he does have a capacity to defy political gravity in the way, maybe in the way that Donald Trump did, that everyone was like, this has to be the end.
Absolutely.
And it hasn't been.
Yeah, very much so.
Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.